Hello, and welcome to Rhemas Foods Gluten-Free Baking. Today we're going to talk about which gluten-free flour is best for baking. Have you ever followed a gluten-free recipe exactly how you're supposed to, only to pull it out of the oven and wonder what went wrong? It ended up coming out flat, dry, crumbly as soon as you cut a slice. You're not alone. I've spoken to hundreds of persons just like you, parents baking for their kids with allergies, health conscious persons who are trying to avoid wheat, and even professional chefs trying to make gluten-free items taste just as good as the original. And the frustration is real. You want to enjoy your favorite baked goods, but every attempt turns into a nightmare, a science experiment gone wrong. If that's you, stay with me. You're about to discover how to finally bake delicious, soft, and structured gluten-free treats that rise, hold their shape, and taste incredible. In today's video, I'm going to take you through three powerful strategies that will transform how you approach gluten-free baking. First, we'll uncover the top gluten-free flour blends I recommend and why single flours often fail. Second, I'll reveal the key binding ingredients and agents that can replace gluten's structural power. Third, I'll walk you through real recipe adjustments that you can use based on my 5 years plus experience working with sweet potato flour, cassava flour, almond flour, and more. Plus, I've got a special treat for you, a free resource for you at the end, which is a downloadable cheat sheet to make your baking easier and more consistent. Let's talk about firstly what you've probably experienced. Your muffins, they came out dry, even though the batter looked moist. Your cookies spread too far or fall apart after baking. Your bread rises in the oven, then collapses soon as it cools. These aren't random mistakes. They are symptoms of a deeper issue. Gluten plays a unique role in traditional baking. It gives dough elasticity, traps air, and creates that chewy, satisfying texture we all love. When we take gluten out, however, we're not just removing a protein, we are removing the structure that holds everything together. When I first started working with sweet potato flour, I thought I could just swap it out on a 1-to-1 ratio with wheat flour. Big mistake. My first pancakes were soggy, my breads were dense, and I wasted so many batches of ingredients. But through testing and trying, I discovered how to balance flavors, moisture, and texture in a way that brings gluten-free baking to life. Most people struggle with gluten-free flour because they assume all flours will be the same. But here's the truth. Almond flour is high in fat and protein but lacks starch. Cassava flour mimics wheat flour and can be used in a 1-to-1 ratio with or in replacement to white flour, but sometimes it needs some support. Sweet potato flour adds flavor and nutrition, but again, it needs some support. Each flour blends and behaves differently in terms of its moisture, weight, and structure when used for baking. So when you're just trying to use one flour and trying to convert a wheat recipe on a 1-to-1 ratio, your results almost always fall short. And many store-bought gluten-free flour mixes rely heavily on white rice flour and potato starch. These often lack nutrition and can leave your baked goods tasting bland or gritty. Instead of using just one gluten-free flour, try to create a custom blend. Here's one of my favorite combinations. 1 part sweet potato flour for moisture and flavor, 1 part cassava flour for body and mild taste, and 1 part almond flour for richness and protein. This trio balances moisture, texture, and nutrition. You can tweak the ratios depending on what you're baking. Cookies need more almond flour. Muffins do well with more sweet potato flour. And if you're baking bread, you might want to add a little sorghum or teff for density and fiber. Gluten is like glue. It traps air bubbles and creates stretch. To mimic that in gluten-free baking, you need a binder. Here are 3 options. There's xanthan gum. A little goes a long way. Start with half to 1 teaspoon per cup of flour. Then there's xylem husk, which adds fiber and elasticity, especially great for bread. Then you can also try ground flax seeds and chia seeds soaked in water, or even oats that can also be used as a binder. These binders help dough stay together during baking and cooling so your muffins and loaves don't crumble apart. One tip we should remember is always try to mix your dry ingredients thoroughly before adding wet ingredients. That way, your binders are evenly distributed. Another solution would be to look at the food science. Gluten-free flour often absorbs more liquid. This means you need to adjust. Add 1 to 2 more tablespoons of liquid, whether it's milk or oil or applesauce, to your recipes. Consider an extra egg for structure and moisture. Try adding more baking soda or baking powder, like 25% for a better lift. Also, let your batter sit for 10 to 15 minutes before baking. This gives the flours and binders time to absorb moisture and activate, leading to better texture and rise. If you're ready to stop guessing and start baking with confidence, I've created a simple tool just for you. Visit our website or Facebook page and grab your free gluten-free baking cheat sheet. It includes my go-to flour blends, recommended binder amounts, substitution tips for common recipes, a guide to adjusting liquids and baking times. This cheat sheet is based on years of hands-on experience and product development using sweet potato flour and cassava flour. It's your shortcut to better gluten-free baking results. And if you're looking for personal guidance, we want to explore custom flour solutions for your bakery or blend. You can also book a free consultation with us. Call us at 753-4823 for your free consultation. Remember, gluten-free baking isn't about limitation. It's about transformation. With the right knowledge, the right tools, and the right attitude to your goods and your baking products, you can not just create a wonderful, healthy, but also delicious gluten-free baked product. Thanks for watching and do have a wonderful evening. I can't wait to see what we can bake next. Goodbye.